What's up, Vape fam? I'm Vaping Monkey, and today I'm going to bring you a coil build. This is going to be a Tiger coil. First, I have to show you how to make the Tiger wire. The wire that I'll be using for this build today is 0.8 by 1 millimeter flat ribbon wire and 26 gauge Anarchist wire. I'm going to use about 6 or 7 wraps. I haven't totally figured that out yet, but I'm going to do it up close on the coil build sequence. But these are the two materials that you'll need for this build. 26 gauge Anarchist, 0.8 by 1 millimeter flat A1 Canthal ribbon wire. Alright, so I'm going to take it up close real quick and I'm going to show you how to wrap the wire. Then we're going to get to making the coils and throwing it in the freak show. So let's take it up close and check out how to do the Tiger wire. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this upside down, so bear with me. But we're going to start off by pulling out the ribbon wire to the desired length that we will need for the build. I'm going to use some needle nose pliers get it unniched, and I'm going to be pretty generous because this stuff isn't as expensive as the Anarchist wire, so I'll probably pull about a good foot of it, maybe a little bit more. We'll go a whole nother wrap just because I have so much of this stuff. It's only about $5 and change on Amazon. It's really not that expensive. Okay, so snip that, tuck that underneath like so. Put that to the side. Now we have a piece of ribbon wire. We'll put that down. Now we'll go ahead and open the package of Anarchist wire. And for this build, I'm going to be doing a dual coil Tiger wire. So I need to make sure that I use enough to get the entire build done. Let me just find the wire that is tucked away, which is one of these. Okay, so now I have a generous amount of ribbon wire and I have some Anarchist wire. Now, as you can see, there's a good amount of ribbon exceeding the amount of Anarchist wire that I have. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me take this up and focus this. I'm going to try and, sorry for my fingers, I'm going to try and take the flat side of the ribbon and lay the round right on top of the flat ribbon, like so that it lays against the back of it. Then you're going to hold it, and you're going to take the ribbon, and you're going to twist it around the Anarchist, and so you should have it guiding down the Anarchist wire like so. The ribbon wire. Okay, now what I'm going to do is put it in the chuck and we're going to get this thing twisted up. Okay, what I like to do is I fold the very end of it so you give the chuck something more to grab. I take the chuck, okay. Make sure it's tight, but not too tight, just tight enough. Now that you see that I'm using a drill, I'm going to pull it out of frame so that we can see the rest of what's going on here. Making sure to keep your ribbon laying flat against the wire all the way down. Run your fingers down it to make sure that you don't have any bows or any loose spots, and make sure the wire is in sync. And then all you're going to do, let me move it down further, is you're going to take the excess ribbon that you left yourself on the end of the round wire and you're going to wrap it around the round wire, and you can take some wire snips and cut off the excess ribbon. And then all you're going to do is you're going to take needle nose pliers or pliers of some type, and you're going to grab real firm on the wrapped ribbon over the round wire and pull it so that there's no bows anywhere throughout the two wires. and you're going to squeeze really hard on the needle nose pliers or whatever pliers you're using after you've pulled it nice and taut, and you're going to start off real slow in one speed. Make sure that you hold really tight. Make sure you hold really tight with the needle nose pliers so that you don't lose the twist of your wire. We'll speed this up a little bit. Now you want to make sure that you don't go too far, but even if you do, it's just going to break off. So you don't have to worry too much. But I would say go until, I'll show you the wire when it's done, to where you would want to pretty much have it. It's about there. Alright, about right here. Before I loosen the chuck though, what I like to do is run my finger down the wire, get any of that excess energy out of the wire. Okay, now we're going to take it out of the chuck and snip off the ugly ends. Okay, now I'm going to try and bring this up close and focus it so you can see. This is kind of what you want your wire to look like. As you can see, the ribbon is squeezing the Anarchist wire. That's kind of what you want to go for. I hope that that's clear enough and close enough. That's as best as I can do though. Alright. Now we're going to go ahead and wrap these coils. Okay, so I have the RDA all cleaned, washed off. I also highly recommend, before you do anything, to wash this wire in your sink really good with warm water and a rag. But I have everything ready. Now we're going to go ahead and start wrapping our coils. That's about the middle. I actually did that damn near perfect. Okay, we're going to start with the first coil, and I figured I'm going to do a 6 wrap. So I'll just start with the wire. Leave yourself a little bit of slack so that you have wire to play with when you're installing. We're going to start the first wrap. 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you notice, this can get very springy. It's okay, because when you torch it and you torch it a couple times, it'll take a lot of the spring out of it, but keep in mind it's very springy during this process. 5, 6 or 7. Did I say 6 or 7? Let's do 6. 6 will be good. So what I'm going to do, just to make sure that the initial first wrap is good, is I'm going to flip the coil around, put it back on the screwdriver or drill bit you're using, and I'm going to pull on it with a pair of pliers. And pull back a little bit. Okay, and there's our first coil. Alright, now we're going to do the second one. 6 wraps. Start at the base, leave yourself a little slack. You always want to make sure that first wrap is nice and tight and even, because that's going to affect your build's readout and whether you'll get a short or not. It's just always safe to flip it and pull it tight just to make sure everything goes right. Alright, now let me try and get a close-up of this. The coil kind of has like a design going there. That pretty little slanted kind of a design. Like, it's really cool. They're really pretty looking coils. Anyway, let's get these in the RDA. Longer lead furthest away. I'm going to do longest lead in the positive first, if I can get it in there. Okay, then the negative lead. Get it to where I'd like it to be. And by the way, if I forgot to mention, I'm using a 3 diameter screwdriver, because I'm pretty sure I may have forgot to say that. But anyway, we're going to tighten down the negative post so that we know it won't go anywhere. Not really tight, just a nice hand snug. Okay, then we're going to take the positive lead, making sure that the coil is where we want it on the positive side. And we're just going to fold it up and out of the way. We'll take the screwdriver out, turn it around, and do our other coil. By the way, in other videos I've heated these before installing them. You can also pulse it in a mod afterwards, but I would recommend heating it before you do this, but it's to each his own. As long as you pulse or use a regulated mod when pre-firing to set your coils, you'll be just fine. Using a mechanical, I'd recommend heating before you do this, but I'll be using a regulated. By the way, this is very hard wire to break, which is another good thing about Tiger wire. Alright, bend it up, out of the way. Take the screwdriver out, we'll give it a quick look real quick. Make sure it looks how we want it to. Looks good to me. Make sure you have clearance on both sides for when you put your top cap on. You don't want to hit the walls of your inner top cap and cause any shorts. So always make sure you have room for your coils to heat up and breathe. Alright, so now we are going to clean her up. Pull all the leads up and just trim it a little bit so I can get in there and tighten up my positive post. Nothing too crazy just yet. I still want to leave myself room to tweak it if I have to, but it's looking good. Alright, now I'm going to tighten the positive post. You also always want to make sure when tightening your positive post that none of your wires are overlapping one another when you're tightening it down, because you want to make sure you're getting a solid connection on your positive post. That'll cause shorts and all kinds of other mishaps. Nice hand snug. Alright, that's looking good. Alright, we can fix those coils up a little more after I'm done. Alright, everything's all tight. Now we're just going to snip as close to the top as possible. Okay, now the last side here. And we're good to go. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and straighten these out just a little bit. I could do all the extra tweaking once I get it on the mod. Okay. I don't know about you, but that's looking pretty good to me. Oh yeah. Alright. So we are going to put it on the mod. I'll go through all the pre-firing and whatnot to shorten this up a little bit, and then we'll wick it up. So be right back. Okay, so I have it all. I did all the preheating and fixed the coils, but I just wanted to mention one thing. I should have did it on camera, but if you get hot spots in your coils, mainly when you're doing twisted coils of any kind, you'll have this happen a lot. You'll get a lot of hot spots. Pinching isn't always going to solve that issue. The best thing for you to do when you're getting a lot of hot spots in your coils, even after everything is making full contact and you've ensured all other things are done correctly, you'll still get hot spots. What you do is you take your screwdriver or drill bit, whatever you're using, and you slide it inside the coil and you wiggle it up and down inside the coil, and then take it out and do the other coil, stick it in the coil, wiggle a little bit, pull it out, then keep firing. Then afterwards, if you're still having a little bit of uneven heat, what you can do is just pet the top of the coils with like a flathead screwdriver, and you can usually get everything, brushed up and cleaned up from there. But here's where I stand with the build. See, nice even glow. We're good to go. All right, now we're going to change the angle, and I'm going to wick her up and close this up. Okay, so we have everything built and ready. Now we're just going to wick it. I'm using a standard organic cotton ball you get from like a CVS or a Rite Aid. I don't know what they're called in your state, but in New Jersey we have Rite Aids, Walgreens, a pharmaceutical place or even a food store, but just standard organic cotton. Okay, I'm not going to use all this. About right here. Okay, and just make sure you pet out any imperfections. Just try your best, it'll be fine. Okay, and there we are. Now what I like to do is just roll it on a flat surface like my leg or a table, usually something with a little bit of a ruggedness to it so it can grab the cotton and help you when you're rolling it. Usually your pant leg, or even use like, say, like a towel or something, but this cutting board works really good. Okay, so then you roll your cotton. I'm gonna snip it in half. One Hit Wonders Muffin Man. I've been vaping this stuff like crazy since I got it last week, and I'm loving it. Milkman's probably still my favorite, but this stuff is good. When you're juicing, let the juice sit on the wick for just like a couple seconds, making sure that you first juice the coils, because that's the most important part of your build, to get wet first. And then after you have the juice on there and it's sitting on there, you can pulse it a couple times, see that it's wicking. Oh, vapor. Vapor's good. And then you can drop some more juice on it. This Freak Show, it has holes right underneath the coils, so what I like to do when dripping this is I drip right between the positive and negative coils, or positive and negative posts, I'm sorry, and the juice finds its way home. Okay, looks good to me. Alright, let's take it up to FaceTime and close her up. Wow, so there it is in all its glory. Anyway, I forgot to show you guys the ohms read on this, so wow. I'm going to bring it up close real quick and show you. See that? 2 ohms. 0.21 ohms. Perfect. Wow, so a 0.2 ohm build, dual coil, Tiger Wire build, and this thing is just pumping out flavorful vape. This is a great vape for those of you that are a bit of an enthusiast, or you're getting into building more and you want to try something new. This is an awesome build. It's not too complicated and it's very fun to do. Also, one of my favorite builds for the Freak Show. That under airflow with this kind of a build, it's just perfect. But anyway, this is Vaping Monkey. I appreciate you watching my video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment down below if I left anything out. And if you can, subscribe if you haven't already. For those of you that follow me on Twitter or Instagram and support me and my videos and everything, you guys kick ass. Anyway, like always, keep your cotton wet, and I'll see you guys later.